Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. How are you plus 100,000 beautiful souls doing? Listen, I want to say right away, thank you so much for being part of the community and all your wonderful comments. I've been trying to catch up. I answer a lot of them. I answered a lot of them. And thank you very much for the moderators out there to kind of clean up everything so I don't have to go through all that myself. And we only have something that's worthy. So thank you very much for your contribution. I really appreciate that. So today is Sunday. I'm going to do Crushing It for Christ this morning because I'm very thankful and grateful for everything that's going on in my life. Another day, another blessed day that I'm living because I choose to look upon positivity and promote positivity, do unto others as I want them to do unto me. And you just reap what you sow, folks. And I just can't believe I'm astonished. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee, but I'm just saying that I am definitely riding that crest of success right now in happiness and health and success, finance, everything that anyone could possibly hope to have. I am enjoying right now. It's not at the top level. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not Tony Robbins. I'm not any of these things are the happiest or the richest or the most successful or even the most positive. But I'm doing what I can do, and I promote everybody else to live a life like that. So we do have a name for the new Honda Accord. That's the latest acquisition, as one of you beautiful souls out there put it the other day. I like how you said that. Congratulations on the latest acquisition. And that's exactly what it was. Z-Car is the winner, and so is SoCal Mac. And I got to tell you, Miss T came up with this. We got a suggestion of the Cruiser, and it's just like begins with the C, ends with the ER. Listen, just play along, folks. This is just fun. If you want to have some fun, if you're not into it, I get it. But we have started since this channel grew, naming the camper, the Crasher, the Toyota Tundra, the Crusher, and we crush it around here. And so we got this newest acquisition, the Honda Accord. It's a hybrid, and it's the touring model. And so I said, hey, got a new vehicle, we got to name it. We don't even have one for Tammy's car, but anyway, I didn't even think about that. But so I got some, a lot of you gave me some suggestions. Thank you very much. And the one that really stuck is, Cruiser. Because Cruiser is what it is. But it's more than that. You see, the Honda Accord, the latest acquisition, is a dual car. It is a gas hybrid. So it's more than a very nice cruiser. It's a conserver, as SoCal Mac suggested, Temecula J, that conserver. So Tammy came up with the idea, like, look, I said, it's a gas and electric. It's a dual motor. It's two things. She says, yeah, it's a cruiser / conserver. So that's the name, and it's the only thing that we've got that's got two names, but it is the cruiser / conserver because it definitely conserves. I mean, I think I read 57 miles per gallon on a temporary basis running around on electricity last night up in St. Armand's. The car is free. When I say the car is free, the gas, I mean, you might as well count gasoline is no longer a cost to drive that car. Do I recommend that car? Hell to the yes. Someone wrote in a comment about, well, I'm sure it was just somebody we had to delete because they were saying something about an antiquated, old-timey hybrid motor. It's the latest and the greatest. And if you watch the Car Nut, the guy that's esteemed very highly as a technician, a Toyota technician actually, he did a review on this particular hybrid and said it's the work of a genius. Honda Accord has been around for 50 years. It's made every It's achieved every accolade known to the automotive world by all of the non-biased Consumer Reports, Motor Trend, Car and Driver, Road and Track, whatever. It's just a phenomenal car. There's no doubt about it. And so I had 3 Toyotas. I've had a Tundra, I had a Camry, I had a Tacoma, and the 4Runner. So I had 2 4Runners actually in my life, and I've had a few Toyotas, and I've also owned a few Hondas. But guess what? I never bought a new Honda. When I was in the automobile business, I had them as a demo, and that's when I became a very, very big proponent of the quality of the Honda car. Their motto was, "We make it simple." They didn't have all the models. They didn't even have trucks until they came out with the SUV they got now, and that what's it called, that Ridgeline, which I was never a fan of, just for the looks, but people love them. And you know, Toyota had numerous models, and so I've had both, but Japanese, baby, that's for me. And this Accord, I'm not going to keep harping on it, but I probably will, because you can't believe a damn thing I say. But it is a very big car, but not like a Cadillac or some bigger car. It's actually a car, as the more I drive it, that I've decided, I even told Tammy last night, this is a car that's big, and I don't want anything bigger. And I don't want anything any smaller either. It is the sweet spot. Just like the Flagstaff 25 FKBS. It's under 30 feet. I can put it in a back end spot. I don't need a pull through. I can tow it with a half ton. It is the sweet spot. My Tundra, now I know it sounds like I'm bragging. I can't help it. I got some good stuff. I made some smart decisions. You know, I'm glad I'm not sitting here going, oh my gosh, I bought this car and the engine blew, the clutch went out, the brakes are shot, the air conditioning stopped working, the handles fell off. You know, I mean, these are quality, low maintenance, minimalism, baby, minimalism. Now, I shared yesterday about some of the financial costs of that car. That car is a $40,000 car. The average new car purchase as of 21 has been about $49,000. And it's down about 3%. I think it's around 48,000, or I don't know, something like that I read on Google currently. $48,000. I mean, a Toyota Corolla can cost you 30 grand if you buy the top of the line hybrid EXE or whatever it is. I mean, cars are not cheap. And, you know, they do put those extra addendum labels on there. But I'm going to make a video. A few of you have asked about how to go about getting a good deal, how to buy a car. Here, I got some paper in my pocket I didn't even know about. I'll have to see what those are. And, you know, I was in the car business for close to 20 years. And while I was in the business, I was a sales manager, I was a finance manager, and a darn good salesman. In fact, I was salesman of the year of 2 or 3 different dealerships because I just had a good run. And one of them was at a Honda store, actually, over in the Broward County area of Florida, South Florida here. And that's when I really became a believer in the Honda. In fact, I told you guys before this is a little funny thing that we used to say when people would come back in with their Hondas that we sold. If there was any kind of a issue that they couldn't figure out, a button, or they thought something didn't work or was broke, and they came into the service or came into the showroom and talked to us about it, the first thing we would say, and I actually copied this from service because service was saying it, well, it ain't the car. You know, because we had such high confidence that it had to be you. And believe it or not, most of the time it was, if not every time. So anyway, the car purchase was like $15,000 under the U.S. national average purchase price today. And so it's a brand new car, and it could be a car that can last you 20 years if you want to. So it was a phenomenal buy. It doesn't burn any gas, has zero maintenance, and it's an acquisition. It's a tax deduction. It's a traveler. It's a cruiser slash conserver. That's what she is. She's the cruiser slash conserver. So thank you very much, Z-Car and SoCal Mac, for your suggestions. They were the SoCal Mac, I want to say, that was a very original name. It just fits it perfect. It begins with a C. It's got the ER on the end, so thank you very much for that. I haven't named any of these things that I have without the community's help. So it's been fun. We're just playing, having a good time here. And so now, moving forward onto the agenda, the cruise is imminent, and we are in the crunch time of getting. You saw I bought a suitcase yesterday. We have to get a couple more clothing articles. I don't have enough shirts and shorts, and I might want to acquisition another pair of shoes because I don't have enough. But we do need another pair of board shorts. I want some knock-around T-shirts that are new, that aren't all faded out. Just a cheap T-shirt. Maybe at Bell's. Bell's of Florida is a Florida store. They got some really good O'Neill, Quicksilver, Billabong, T-shirts, collarless. They're not dress up, but you throw them on and go down to the pool. Pretty much go anywhere on the cruise ship in board shorts, flip-flops, and a T-shirt. The only time you really got to dress up is if you choose to, or they have a suggested night called formal night. I think there's 2 of them during the week, and you can get, everybody's getting their pictures taken and all that. It's going to be fun, and I'm telling you, number 16. And so I am actually going to jump in the Crusher. Got to remember all these names. I'm going to jump in the Crusher this morning in the Tundra. And I got to go to a Walmart. I had to find a Walmart not so close to me that had one left. I'm buying the Expert Grill. And even though somebody said they can assemble it for you, if they have one assembled, I'll throw it in the back of the truck. I've got plenty of room now. I've emptied out everything. I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm going to bring it home in the box, and I'll put it together probably at a later time. Because the cruise is imminent. I might do it before. I mean, it's not that close, so we'll see. But definitely want to, cut down on using the propane. It's not so much using it. I don't care about that. It's, the heat and the mess and the dishes and all that. Throw something on the grill. It's summertime year-round here, so grilling is always available. And so I'm going to do that. And what else? Well, I got to hit the gym today and get the muscles going. We've been doing all these steps. I think Tammy counted 16,000 steps she got in yesterday. I was at 13,000. Over there at Nathan Benderson Park is a great place. I highly recommend it if you're in this area to go over there and get outside, do some walking, enjoy yourself. Climb that tower. Go up there. It's fun. Nice view up there. So we'll go to the mall, we'll go to Bell's, we'll go to Walmart, and we'll bring you some videos. I sent her out the door this morning with the cruiser slash conserver. I said, get out there and have some fun. Put some miles on that baby. I said, you can't burn any gas, and it's not leased, so go ahead. And so it is our vehicle to use. I want her to park the Civic and not put any more miles on it because it is a lease vehicle. We took it to Orlando. We were thinking about taking it up to Georgia or North Carolina and visiting some friends and family. And while we probably have the space left on the odometer, between now and the time that rental, lease, whatever you want to call it, is up, I do not want her to be in jeopardy of exceeding the mileage. So that was another reason of getting this car. But I actually thought about getting her to trade her car early from the lease, and you can do that. If you can work out the numbers, a lot of costs you can't avoid because you've committed to the lease. But cars are worth a lot of money, and dealers need used cars. In fact, we never got the numbers on it. It's just that she likes her little car and doesn't want to do anything like that right now. And the more I started just investigating it, I think it was probably all me anyway wanting something, because I'm tired of feeding that pig out there that I love the fuel. But she is a perfect vehicle for this house. And this is where I live. That is my tow vehicle. And the cruiser slash conserver is a traveling vehicle for us to go and see family at, and just absolutely drive all day and feel comfortable when we get out and go into our room or go to our relatives or friends if they want to host us. And we plan on doing that because, see, life is to live, folks, not to endure. Now, I got back. I don't like grass growing under my feet. I did the traveling thing. It got cut short. That was going to be kind of a permanent to long-term, constant traveling, seeing different places while I'm younger and still able and wanting to do that. And then we just changed our minds. And I'm here now, and I'm thinking, I do miss that. So for some reason, God brought the car into the program, and there's going to be new travel, and it's travel that she's actually excited about more than she is, with the RV thing. I mean, just some people, it's not a bad thing. It's just some people aren't into it as much as others, Some people prefer flying. Some people prefer driving a car. Some prefer an SUV over a sedan. Different strokes for different folks, okay? So we do what we can. So now we have two options. We've got the camper, of which she's not against. We will absolutely pull her and travel with her. And we're also very excited about cruising in the cruiser slash conserver. And so that's our next agenda. We might be going up to Fort Myers or St. Pete Beach, Clearwater Beach. It looks like a really pretty place. It's only an hour and a half. We'll probably go up there. She wanted to go today, but I got so many little errands I got to do. We still may get there or not, I don't know. But no, I was going to go there a few days ago, but see, this is Labor Day weekend. You don't really have to get a room up there because we're only an hour and a half away, and what's wrong with driving that car? It's fun, right? So we might go. You never know. But I was going to go up there and just get a room for overnight and make some video. We can sit on the beach. I bought a couple of beach chairs, and maybe that might be an area where we find a place that's a rental or buy or something. You got to get out and do it. It doesn't fall in your lap, and you just never know what will come into your life by just getting out and about. I mean, look at the wonderful friends I've made by my travels with the camper. Taking the Crasher around the country, I met people in every stop, every state I went to. And I'm still an acquaintance slash friends with so many. And so this platform has brought 99.999% good. There's a few weirdos out there, but hey, what YouTuber, what anybody, what politician, what anybody doesn't have? We just ignore. They only wish. They only wish they could find the happiness that you have and I have. Well, we'll just keep praying for them. But anyway, I am going to do Crushing It for Christ because it's not just because it's Sunday. It's just that I've been just jubilant. I mean, I'm just so excited about the recent events, and I will have to be taking the car back to get it detailed and to get the windows tinted because the place that does it, because it's a holiday weekend, they laid out of work or whatever. That's all right. We're enjoying the car. We took it over and showed Fred and Raffaella yesterday, and they took us in and had coffee and some muffins and pound cake, and she is always quite the host. And so I told them, we'll definitely go out to dinner again, and we'll pick you up, and we'll ride in the sedan. But they loved it. He has a smaller car that he might consider now getting something. They had a Prius at one time that had a nice big opening to get in and out of, and they're not, as young as they used to be, and having something like a little SUV crossover could be a new acquisition for them to be able to be, in and out of it easy. And they're not going to travel anymore. They're from the north, and they used to drive back and forth. They fly now, and so they really don't even drive much at all. But even to go out and get in it, you need something that you feel confident, it's comfortable, and hey, you only go around once. So you only get one ticket. This is an e-ticket ride, folks. You don't get an extended warranty. You don't get any longer than you're given. And, don't be frivolous. Don't be foolish. Live your life smart. But most of all, you want to live your life positive. You definitely want to make smart decisions. You want to just, you know what to do. You got to do those things. And you made all these mistakes when you were young. It's sad that a lot of people today that are mature and have grandchildren, and they're grown-up people, I mean, fully grown and mature, can still act so puerile. I mean, it's really sad. But hey, that's the world, right? These are the good old days. I got a friend of mine, he used to coin that because, the yesteryear, those were the good old days. What do you think is happening in the future? What do you think this country's going? Look at the craziness out there. But all you got to do is put your blinders on. We'll talk about that on Crushing It for Christ. I don't want to get into making the morning chat a talk about all that. Last night when we took the car for a drive, I watched a YouTube video of how cool the instrument cluster looks at night. Everything is bright and different colors and LED, and I wanted to play with the infotainment center and set the settings and all of these things, and we drove it, and I wanted to see how bright those LED headlights are, because with glaucoma, the nighttime driving, with car headlights coming at you, can be a challenge. Well, the car has excellent headlights. While it was still the same, blinding lights when you get into heavy traffic, that's still a challenge. But we ended up driving, just by luck, over the Ringling Bridge, over to Lido Key, and landed in St. Armand's. Neither one of us, we looked at each other like, what is this? Is this the middle of November? This is like season? That's the winter time down here is when everybody from the north comes, and this place is clogged. And all of these residents and condos that are empty, all of those snowbirds come, and they're here for 6 months, 5 months, enjoying. And you would think that we were right in the middle of season. I could not believe it. You saw the video. It was amazing. And this one, I was worrying about the music being copyrighted, but it wasn't the original artist. It was this lady singing, and she's going to be there again tonight. We might roll up over there again. She could sing so good right there in that little place where you could sit down and cross over to Venezia, or whatever it's called, that Italian restaurant, and the other side is Columbia. What a spot. St. Armand's. Come on down to St. Armand's tonight. If you're anywhere in the southwest coast of Florida, and have a good time. Venezia and Columbia have some of the best foods. Both of them were just going off the chain. I mean, Venezia was just those pies, these pizzas. And like I said, back in my drinking days, I would love a glass of red and a nice big pie or a big plate of pasta to sit outside there. And it wasn't bad. It's still warm. It's not, the humidity and the heat has not gone away, but it had a little breeze. It was pretty nice last night. And about 10 o'clock, there was no slowing down. That's when we left. That's when the gal had to shut down on her music singing because I guess of ordinances and noise and whatever. But man, I was really looking at those pizzas as we walked by, and some of those great Italian dishes. Maybe I'll take Fred and Raffaella over there, and we'll do that one of these evenings. We can do it many times, actually. And somebody was asking, can you go to the beach at night? Of course, of course. In fact, if you don't know, we're on the west coast of Florida. I'll have to make a video and show you. If you go to Siesta Key Beach or Lido Key Beach or Clearwater Beach, any beach over here, you get the sunset like you do in California, because we're on the west coast, and the Gulf of Mexico, you got that horizon, and when that sun goes down, if there's clouds, you get this huge ray of redness and stuff and oranges. It's amazing. If it's just a clear sky, you'll get the regular big orange ball of the sun going down until it drops below the horizon. But the sunsets are unbelievable. So if you're in the Sarasota area or up in the Tampa, St. Pete, head over to the beach one night around sunset. I know in California, a lot of people that are driving along the coast every night, it's kind of traditional. They literally stop their car and pull over to the side of the road and watch it. I mean, it's just something. So make the time, make the time in your life to do things. I mean, you let a week go by and you just sit around and, watch the news and sit in the house, or you don't get out and wax your car, or you don't get out and take a walk at like Nathan Benderson Park. You don't go check out a sunset. You don't walk around St. Armand's, a walk down the beach, even walking in the mall. You don't have to buy anything. Go play a round of golf. Go out and sit under a shade tree at a park and read a book. If you don't have these memories and these habits that you're doing, that what pleases you, what makes you happy, and take some of those suggestions and anything else you can think of and live your life. Do not let, a week, a day, 2 months go by where you're just sitting around, eating, no exercise, not seeing anything, not doing anything. And I know I'm not talking to the masses. Most people get out and do live their life. I mean, if you live in Florida, everybody's doing it. This is an outdoor, recreational, meet and greet type place. So I encourage you to do that, because you just never know, folks. I mean, what can happen? I'm not going to call any names out, but there are people that we know in the community. There's people that you know in your family that are suffering, not because they choose to sit on the couch and watch the news and eat, but they can't. They don't have a choice. Something struck them. Unfortunate circumstances. And now they're fighting for their life, or they're fighting to get healthy again, or they're on a long-term thing, and their life has been turned upside down. So it can happen to me. It can happen to you. Don't let a day go by that you don't think of, just look, if I went today, I had a good one. Because no one wants to be just sitting around and something unfortunate happened, and then they have regrets that they didn't do something a month ago, a year ago. And, when it comes time to collect your Social Security, I tell everybody, and I have the vast majority that agree with me, that there's only one reason, and one reason only, not to start collecting free money that you pay to the government as soon as you possibly can. And that is, if you're making so much money right now and you just love that prison job, then you keep doing you. You do you. But if you're like the masses and you've had multiple careers and maybe you got a little pension, maybe you got nothing, maybe you got no savings, but you can pull yourself out of that prison job, out of that anguish, that stress, that pressure, that drama, that crap, and you can start drawing the same amount of money that they were paying you and work that much less and still go to work doing something different that pays you the difference to get you back to where you were or close to it. And you don't even have to make what you were to be the same, because if you were in a higher tax bracket or whatever, we've gone over this a million times, but If you can just work 20 to 25 hours a week or less, if you have nice savings or a pension to add to your Social Security. But don't wait for $500 or $600 more money and then end up dying or getting sick or ill or incapacitated, or your attitude changes where you don't want to do the things that you want to do right now or next year when you turn 62 or in 2 years from now. Don't let anybody convince you that waiting will because nobody's guaranteed. The only guarantee you got is when you get 62 and you file for it and you get one. That's a guarantee. When you see a $20 bill on the ground and you walk by, you pick it up. That's a guarantee. You don't say, let it lay there, let it ride. Maybe tomorrow it'll be a 50. And then a bus hits you, or you get cancer, or you get a heart attack, or you just keep letting it ride. And 2 more years go by and you go, I don't even care anymore. I'll sit here and drink my Geritol in this chair. Come on. Let's get alive. Let's get out there. Let's crush it.